Hebrew word for fasting means to close the mouth from food. Fasting and prayer first changes you. Until something changes in here, nothing changes out there. And fasting and prayer brings great change to you and your inner man. Challenges in life are normal, but it's unscriptural to be defeated. Never mistake a challenge for a defeat. Stand on the word, stand against the devil, and possess what God says belongs to you. Every person that's made it their business to come against you, to shut your business down, to make it their personal project, to see that you never succeed, God is going to cut their legs out from under them. You're walking through to a new dawn in Jesus' name.
The following program contains political discourse, opinions, and footage that many viewers may find offensive. It should not be viewed by anyone ever.
I don't think he knows what he said either.
Autistic hyena in the Oval Office, and we're going to put an end to it. We're going to put an end to it.
You're handsome and smart and a hard worker, and let's be honest, white. That's a huge plus nowadays.
And what you gonna do when Hulkamania and the largest arms in the world run wild on you?
Who you a fool for this?
Oh Lord, Jetson made another one.
Huh? Packing the mail, it's gone. She like I smell cologne. Yeah. I just signed a deal, I'm on. Yeah, yeah. I go where I want, good, good. Play if you want, let's do it. I'm a young CEO, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The first play on my body. I just check my balance, I probably pull up to your hood and come buy me a no cap. You know that your hoe told you that crazy. Don't think that she lied to you, nigga. Bitch. Get caught with your hoe when I'm popping them both. Now they hot just like Bobby and Whitney. Say I'm the GOAT, act like I don't know. And I'm obviously winning. Don't make me go hit the bank and take out 100 to show you our pockets is different. I'm out with your bitch and I only want knowledge. She got a little mileage, I'm chillin'. You disrespect me and I beat your ass up all in front of your partners and children. I'm the type that let think that I'm broke until I pop out with $1 million. And take 20K and put that on your head and make one of your partners come kill you. Yeah. Say me then he gotta grow up, cause this gotta be killed. Can't fit in my pocket, I got it. Like I hit the lottery. I slap out of no talking, I don't like to argue with don't. Ain't gonna be no more laughing, you see me whip out, cause I'm gonna be the shot me.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me?
In a time not so far removed, the world seemed a bit simpler, at least through the eyes of a kid growing up in the heart of America. Back then, we had something special. A culture where freedom of expression wasn't just allowed, it was celebrated. Making fun of each other wasn't about malice, and it usually wasn't even mean. It was a rite of passage, a way to laugh about our differences, unifying us through humor. Sure, there were bullies, but they played an important role. By pushing us, they taught us to push back, to stand up for ourselves, to fight for what we believed in. A clever comeback was like a right hook with a smile.
You play ball like a girl!
It was all part of growing up and learning life lessons that molded our character. Everyone got their turn, and it was worth it. But as time went on, people got lazy. They got soft. The culture went woke, and suddenly everything was offensive. Every joke had to be justified, and the spontaneity of youth was replaced with caution. Our carefree spirit replaced by the twisted calculations of political correctness. Victimhood became a virtue, and cancel culture reigned supreme. Then a miracle happened. God stepped in, and we, the people, stood up. We elected a new president, a leader who promised to bring back the laughter, the color, the soul. This president, with a nod to the past, aims to make our culture great again. a pledge to reignite the magic of yesteryears.
Mr. Donald! Oh my God!
Not just bringing back jobs, but bringing back the joy of unapologetic humor.
This ain't Johnny Carson, motherfucker.
The freedom of expression without the fear of offense. Now we're seeing a renaissance. The music is getting louder again, the colors brighter, and the laughter, well, it's starting to sound a lot like it used to. Maybe it's not a return to the past, but a rebirth of the spirit that made those times so special. So here we are, standing at the crossroads of nostalgia and revival, looking forward to what's next with the same hopeful eyes we had when we first watched the world through the window of our childhood. And maybe, just maybe, we're learning that the best parts of our past can still light the way for our future. And maybe we're about to enter a new golden age, a golden age where the wonder years start now.
What is wrong with your voice? You have a little congestion? Or is it just your voice and you're feeling great? No, it's a little bit of congestion. My daughter literally has no voice, but she's feeling great. I mean, she slept just fine, so that's interesting. You sound like a little like it's like deflated, like your voice is deflated. Good morning, everyone. You're watching Check the News. Happy New Year to you. Thanks for watching on our new time, 10 a.m. Of course, we're going to be starting fasting and prayer this Monday. So there's going to be a lot of live things for you to watch during your time of fasting and prayer. So you don't want to miss it. We're going to be going live from Texas. And Matthew, are you going to Texas? Is somebody going? Who's going to Texas? I see. Okay, perfect. So there it is, platform for a new dawn. It was an, thank you. Oh, and Ben and Tessa, that's wonderful. That's going to be an entire month in Texas. Luckies. Anyways, but we'll be doing Check the News live, I think. Michael, you're going to have to talk about the timing of everything. We'll talk about it afterwards. Anyways, how's everyone doing? Happy New Year. A lot to unpack in the last couple of days. Sleeper cells coming to life, ? Not quite sure. And then the connection between Las Vegas bombing and the Nola killing. It's going to blow your mind, some of the things that we've been uncovering in the last moments. Hi, morning, pumpkin pie. So let's get right into it. Again, if you have not registered for fasting and prayer, do so right now at our website, rtcregister.com. Do we have a number of how many people have registered for the fasting and prayer? Just curious. Next. 1,970 people. Is that like, I'm sure we broke a record with that one. That is exquisite. I want to know, hi, Rose, Michael, what are you guys doing? Are you guys doing 6 to 6? Are you guys going to give it a shot? Maybe do 7 on liquids and do the rest 6 to 6. Sound off. I'm very curious. Next. All right, let's get to it. Sleeper cells coming to life. Let's see. But before we do, our commander-in-chief in waiting has tweeted this last night. Can you enlarge it for me, please? Our country is a disaster, a laughingstock all over the world. This is what happens when you have open borders with weak, ineffective, and virtually non-existent leadership. The DOJ, FBI, and Democrats, state and local prosecutors have not done their job. They are incompetent and corrupt, having spent all of their waking hours unlawfully attacking their political opponents, me, rather than focusing on protecting Americans from the outside and inside violence scum that has infiltrated all aspects of our government and our nation itself. This is very interesting because this is a little bit of an insight into what's actually transpiring behind the scenes. A lot of times we're thinking it's ISIS, maybe it's some sort of Islamic stronghold. But this is very interesting, and I want to highlight this because if you're just kind of skimming by, you're going to completely pass it. Violent scum that has infiltrated all aspects of our government and our nation itself. Very interesting. Democrats should be ashamed of themselves for allowing this to happen in our country. The CIA must get involved. They might already be. Now, before it's too late, the USA is breaking down a violent erosion of safety, national security, and democracy is taking place all across our nation. Only strength and powerful leadership will stop it. See you on January 20th. Make America great again. And again, we're only, 18 days away from Donald Trump taking the stage. Next. Breaking, Biden walks off. So I just wanted for you guys to see his counterpart, Donald Trump, coming out with really strong words. Now we get to listen to our current president and leader, Biden. Take a look.
We'll keep you fully contemporaneously informed. Thank you.
Have you spoken to President Trump? Will you visit New Orleans? Have you spoken to President Trump?
Silence. So there you have it. What a leader. This is kind of making me a little bit nauseous in the back. Anybody else? Or is it, man, I'll just look up because I'm just doing one of these right now. Next. What is that anyways? Oh, win. Are we standing in solidarity with Las Vegas? With the win behind me? No. Can I get a beach then? Can I get like a Hawaiian beach? That's where I want to be. Is this where Jonathan wanted to be? This is where that's why he loves it. He loves Las Vegas. But I want to be on the beach. So I'm not quite sure if you guys can pull that off, but I'd like to be sitting on the beach, if you don't mind. Warning, it's really cold outside and it's kind of dark and dreary, and it's going to be for the next 2 weeks here. So get me a beach scape. All right. Enlarge it, please. Warning, it's going to happen again. This is coming from Breaking 911. This is Manhattan Tonight chanting, globalize the intifada. I can't say that word. Intifada. Intifada? I don't know. Hours after we all got to see the globalization of intifada. Looks like New Orleans and likely Las Vegas. We need some serious deportations now. Play. New York right now. All right, next. Justin, video shows the moments of the New Orleans attacker jumped out of his truck and shots rang out. People can be seen running for their lives. Horrific. Play.
What the fuck? I died this fucking died.
Oh, shit. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Why are people laughing? What in the world? Did you see that one guy who just kind of strolled right in, not a care in the world? Mighty God. Next. Justin, new surveillance video shows New Orleans attacker flying down Bourbon Street in New Orleans, causing mass panic. Play. That girl with the red hair better be counting her blessings. Watch it again. At that point, just go home and just stay home. Aloha, Steffi. Next. Hello, River Rat Wolf. I'm sure. River Rat Wolf? River at Wolf. The FBI now believes Shamsud Din Jabbar was acting alone, according to MSNBC. Now, here at Check the News, we have learned to kind of vet some of this information coming out, especially in the fog of war. So you have the FBI that says that he was acting alone, and then MSNBC reporting it. So what can we bank on? You guys have been watching long enough to know what the answer to this is. We can bank on that. One, he was not acting alone. All right, that's basically what we can bank on. Because if it's coming from the FBI or MSNBC, you know that the opposite is true. The FBI has now ruled out the two people alleged seen planting IEDs. The network claims those two people were just bystanders. And so this was January 1st, 2025 at 5:36 p.m., but there has been a lot more released since then. So next, MSNBC, you suck. Here's hoping that you go down really quickly. Mike Baker, we spent much of today interviewing a series of people who knew New Orleans attacker Shamsuddin Jabbar, including his brother, who spoke to Jabbar recently. Now, again, this is 1.8 million views. I figured that we should kind of read it through, of course, because it's Check the News. That's what we do. Would I take any of this as fact? No, absolutely not. But I think that it paints a picture. And so that's the reason why I'm reading it. Again, you can't trust really any news outlet. Let's be fair and honest. So I haven't read all of these, but we're going to do it together. Okay. Quote, I would have never imagined him doing something like this. He told us this is the brother of Shamsuddin Jabbar. Next. Slow motion. Do you have this? Is this the thread? That one was that one that I showed you was an 8-part thread. So let me know when you have it ready. Slow motion close-up of the shootout with officers in New Orleans terror attack. Not my video. I just zoomed in and tried to figure out what was happening. Perps appears to shoot and charge at them. Take a look. Play. So they're approaching the vehicle, and then shots fired. Okay, next. We didn't really learn much about that. Maybe just that the perpetrator shot first. Who knows? All right, so here we go. Continuing on with the thread. There's much more detail here in this story, thanks to the reporters on the ground in New Orleans and Houston. The others digging through his history on the internet and the military. And that's the thing about the news outlets now. It's they get way delayed information. I mean, we knew more about the shooter within moments after his name came out than most news and media outlets combined. So they've been digging up and they've been finding quite a lot of stuff. But I'll read through some of the details we learned today. Continue. Jabbar's brother Abdur tells us that two grew up Christian, but that his brother converted to Islam. A woman who used to be Jabbar's neighbor recalled him as someone who played with his kids and was always courteous, referring to her as ma'am. Continue. But Dwayne Marsh, who is married to Jabbar's ex-wife, said that in recent months, Jabbar had been acting erratically. A new neighbor said Jabbar remained isolated in his home and was not seen at the Muslim neighbor's local place of worship. Continue. Investigators found an ISIS flag with Jabbar's vehicle in New Orleans. Now, this is the ISIS flag that is in question. I have not seen an actual ISIS flag. So if you guys have seen it on back there, Michael or Femina or whoever's back there, if you guys have actually seen an ISIS flag floating around, I'd like to see it because I have not seen an ISIS flag. I saw a black trench coat draped over some sort of pole in the back of his truck, but that's it. I did not see an actual ISIS flag. Now, was he trying to make a statement? Then the same could be said about punk rock. Punk rock has like a black flag. So I don't know what people are saying about this ISIS flag. I have not seen it. So there it is. Knew it was an ISIS flag right away, and the FBI agent lied about it to the world. And that's an ISIS flag, huh? Dang. Or is this just... Yeah, that's gotta be it. All right, next, continue. Let's continue to read the thread. Connection, he might have been radicalized. The Army says Jabbar served for 8 years, including a deployment to Afghanistan. And on a now deleted X account, Jabbar's posted about real estate and cryptocurrency. He had a job with Deloitte and was paid 6 figures. Continue. Jabbar is also expressed an interest in guns. He's in the military, of course. An account with identical username has been active and classified site dedicated to firearms. That account lists a sale of a pistol, ammunition, and a shotgun. We have a lot of leads still to chase. Questions and answers. If you have any tips or suggestions, please send them my way. Next. Update, here we go. FBI have found and deactivated 2 explosive devices in New Orleans. So this is still developing as of yesterday. Again, it's very interesting that all of a sudden you get within the first, again, the fog of war, you get the first 24 hours, the first 12 hours or whatever it is of all this crazy information and then silence. Literally, I was looking in on my X account and I just started getting New Year's Eve posts. And that was what was trending today, as if like none of this, nobody wanted to follow up on this. So effect data reveals New Orleans attacker Shamsud Din Jabbar was a donor to the Democratic Party. Media is silent about this. Next, Act Blue, but you know, you can't even trust Act Blue because there's lots of donors that don't know they donated on Act Blue. Bourbon Street usually has steel beams and barriers to block cars from doing the exact of just what happened last night. Why were they not activated on a huge holiday like New Year's? And so here you have it. This is the metal beams to the left, and this is what was the suspect actually like plowed through during New Year's Eve night. And of course, you know, a lot of people think that there's some nefarious business, that people are involved. I'll let you decide. Next. There it is. Metal to the left. What is the other one made out of? It's probably plywood. Oh, actually, that's not plywood, but it's not metal, I suppose. Next. OMG, New Orleans terrorist Shamsud Din Jabbar, U.S. citizen and human resource specialist in the military. And this is a little bit of it's like a clip of him promoting his business, I assume. Play.
Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist and IT specialist, where I learned the meaning of great service and what it means to be responsive and take everything seriously, dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that things go off without a hitch. So I've taken those skills and applied them to my career.
Something's weird. He seems like a pretty run-of-the-mill guy. What's going on? Next. At least 4 to 5 other allegedly involved in New Orleans attack per Fox Digital. So again, a different Fox News is reporting something totally different than MSNBC and apparently the FBI. Next. Breaking drone footage from CPRC2 reveals a tense scene outside the Houston, Texas home of the suspect in New Orleans terror attack. A man is seen with his hands raised as SWAT reportedly giving him commands. Take a look. Play. Interesting. Next. Dang. All right, so just a little bit on Ann Kirkpatrick, New Orleans elderly female police chief. She actually ran over 2 people in a car herself in August before being hired in New Orleans. She was the head of police in Oakland, California, where she was fired. She later sued Oakland and got $1.5 million settlement. She is a bizarre lady. If you guys saw any of the reporting on some of the briefings that she held, she looks certifiable, if you know what I'm saying. Next. Disturbing, the Houston mosque, possibly attended by the New Orleans terrorist, has advised its members not to cooperate with the FBI without consulting CAIR, I don't know what that is, CARE, a group with radical ties. It's crucial that we stay united. Let's read it together. This is coming from the mosque again that he attended. Continue. They say, Salam alaikum, brothers and sisters. I'm sure many of you have heard about the tragic events that took place in New Orleans this morning that are now being classified as an act of terror by the FBI. I want to emphasize the importance to everyone to stay very vigilant and aware of your surroundings. The safety of our community is the most important thing. If anyone is contacted by the media, it is very important that you do not respond. If approached by the FBI and a response is necessary, please refer to CARE or ISGH. It is crucial that we stay united at this time as we condemn these terrible acts. Please stay safe. And this is coming from the mosque's management. Next. I don't necessarily, albeit if they're trying to hide something or be nefarious as a mosque, I'll leave that up to you. I personally, knowing the way the media works, knowing the way that the government works, if the shoe was on the other foot, if this was somehow tied to some sort of Christian whatever, I have an understanding of why they would want to avoid all media. I have an understanding that media distort things and they give a narrative that is so one-sided that it really quite literally doesn't matter what you say to the media. So I'm not saying that I'm siding with either party or whatever. I mean, I think especially if they do have ties to this guy, somebody's got to give up some sort of information. But I also understand that you do have to protect your establishment and you have to protect your people. So there you go. I said it. You don't like it? Scratch. Next. This is the first time I will not like a steak-related post. I can't believe this is real. I ate dinner tonight in New Orleans. Proud to be part of this incredibly resilient city. See everyone at the game tomorrow. But what's interesting is that this post now, it was January 1st at 8:14 p.m. Is so tone deaf. And this is going viral now. This is going viral because absolutely no sympathy for the 4.3 million views. It's embarrassing for Nola. Anyways, 15 people now dead. Is that right? Are we at 15 people dead in New Orleans? Next. What do you think was going to happen? This is coming from Cernovich, which is known. If you follow, check the news for any amount of time, he is going to be a pessimist. Through and through, he's going to see things glass half empty 100% of the time. But I did kind of want to share this because I feel like everybody should be on alert. What did you think was going to happen? That this is a kid's fairy tale or Marvel movie where the good guys win and then the story ends? You thought the demons were going to take a nap? ? You thought the FBI wouldn't activate its terrorist sleeper cells? I mean, this most recent is 15 count. So there you have it, coming from Cernovich. Can't say he's wrong. Next. I looked into the background. Now moving towards, we've covered New Orleans. Now we're going to look into what happened in Las Vegas and how they correlate with each other. Because believe it or not, these two these two murderers, killers, whatever they are, psychopaths, they were in the same army base together. All right, I looked into the background of Matthew A. Livelsberger, the 37-year-old from Colorado Springs who drove a Turo-rented Tesla. And by the way, the New Orleans suspect, Jabbar, also rented a Turo electric truck. And so he rented the Turo-rented Tesla and blew it up at the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas in a huge explosion. Livelsberger is also a U.S. Army veteran, like the New Orleans ISIS terror suspect. Livelsberger's LinkedIn is no longer online, but there are ghost remnants of his background. Special Forces intelligence sergeant, defense analyst, and strategic studies degree from Norwich University. Denver 7 reports says Livelsberger served at the same military base as New Orleans jihadist Shamsud-Din Jabbar. Food for thought. What do you guys think? Next. found info on Matthew Livesberger, alleged Cybertruck guy, went on a rabbit hole. He used this email address, geodel11_20. Google search leads to this one comment from a guy in a BMW forum with a new lead. What's the comment? MatthewLivesberger.com. Okay, so there's his email. Continue. I want eyelids. Email me. No PM yet. Okay, not sure what that means. Next. Breaking. Trump Las Vegas Cybertruck bomber identified. There he is. The FBI has just executed a search warrant on his home in Colorado so that they can wipe it clean. Local media reports he has military experience similar to that of the New Orleans attacker. Next. Do you have the tweets? Give me the last two tweets that I just sent in the chat. New Orleans terrorist and the guy who blew up the Tesla truck both have served at the same army base. Given what we know about the history of sadistic government programs in our military, this brings forth more questions than answers. And this, my friend, is where I immediately headed to in my mind. Is there something more nefarious going on? And I think the answer is a resounding hell yeah. Hell yeah, something is going on, and we want to know what the H is going on. So, because let me tell you something. What are the odds that New Orleans is going to be tied to Las Vegas and to the alleged gunman that attempted to kill Trump on that second time in the golf course? Did you hear about that? All three of them are tied to the same base. Hello? No! So you have to go there in your mind. Unfortunately, this is just the day and age that we're living in. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's 2025. Don't trust the government. Breaking, the suspect in yesterday's attack on Bourbon Street in New Orleans and Trump Tower in Las Vegas both served at Fort Bragg, the same military base Ryan Ruth visited over 100 times before attempting to take Donald Trump's life. So what's going on? You know what I'm saying? MK Ultra? What's going on? These people seem to be decent. We don't know about their background at this point in time. You have people who are like, oh, he was a great guy, he was a great neighbor, this, that, and the other. And then they become radicalized somehow. Think about that. He visited Fort Bragg over 100 times before attempting to take Donald Trump's life. How do you make the math at this point? Next. Coincidence, Tesla, there it is. Again, connecting the two, very bizarre. Next. And then here's the thing. Not only are the two connected by that military base, but the operation of them renting out a Turo vehicle. Turo seems to be like not a lot of people don't know about Turo. Turo is what you do when you're in a city and you want like a high-end vehicle and you have to provide, which is very interesting because you do technically have to provide a lot of info in order to get that vehicle. So I'm sure Turo is being investigated at this point and people are wanting to get some of the information off of Turo because you do have to submit like your place of residency, your ID, they do a background check because it's literally, it would be like me owning a Tesla and then renting it to Matthew and me saying like, I don't know Matthew from hole in the wall, so I need to make sure that Matthew is a good person. So I need to do a credit check and I need to do a background check and this, that, and the other. And so it's not very, I should say they make you go through it on Turo. And I know because I've rented very nice vehicles from Turo. So this is very interesting that this is the route that both of these killers took. Next. And I wonder why Turo? Why Turo? American veterans are radicalized to commit acts of terror on the same day. Got vehicles from the same company, both served at the same military base in Fort Bragg, the same military base that Ryan Ruth visited over 100 times before trying to assassinate Donald Trump. Next. Alert, FBI finds 150 homemade bombs at at a Virginia home. And so do we have the article on this? Because let me tell you something, there's a lot. Now, a couple of things like immediately are playing in my mind. And, I think that in the thick of this, all of a sudden everything becomes tied or linked to this, okay? So this is something that your brain actually undergoes during these times, okay? So all of a sudden, for example, everybody freaked out about drones, right? And so all of a sudden, if you saw something moving in the sky, it was an alien. It was a drone. It was some sort of whatever, something nefarious. And so all of a sudden, it was like it didn't matter what it was. If it was moving in the sky, you were going to link it to UFO. Something's happening, in the government. They're looking for whatever it is. So confirmation bias kicks in, right? Which confirmation bias is something that your brain undergoes where it literally just pinpoints all of the hits rather than the misses, right? So if I believe something, it's going to immediately go towards something that confirms my belief on that thing, okay? So for example, if I felt like, I'm sorry to keep using you, Matthew, you're just in front of me. Matthew is betraying me, right? And so all of a sudden I see a rave. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. That's so much better. All of a sudden, I feel like Matthew is betraying me. And then I see that as Matthew is walking out to his car, there is a crow. And the crow is sitting on top of Matthew's car. And all of a sudden, it's like, see, this is confirmation to me that Matthew is a traitor. And he's going to, whatever. That this is called confirmation bias. So you have to be very leery about these kinds of things because all of a sudden now it's like this is an attack on America. And so every single news story has this kind of flair to add to the narrative that America is under attack, which I would be very careful about doing in the next several weeks and days to come. So when I looked at this, the Virginia house, I wondered immediately, it's all connected. This is all the sleeper cells and all this kind of stuff. But I have to also be aware that I do undergo confirmation bias. So all of a sudden, I want to accumulate all this information and pack it into one package when it may or may not be, connected. So do we have the article on the Virginia? Here he goes. Federal agents found one of the largest stockpiles of homemade explosive they've ever seized when they arrested a Virginia man on firearms charge last month, according to a court filing by federal prosecutors. Now, again, this was last month. Investigators seized more than 150 pipe bombs and other homemade devices when they searched the home of Brad Spafford, northwest of Norfolk in December. The prosecutors said that in motion filed Monday, the prosecutors wrote that it is believed to be the largest seizure by number of finished explosive devices in FBI history. Most of the bombs were found in a detached garage at the home of the Isle of Wright County, along with tools and bomb-making materials, including fuses and pieces of plastic pipe, according to the court documents. The prosecutors also wrote several additional apparent pipe bombs were found in a backpack in the home's bedroom, completely unsecured, in the homes he shares with his wife and 2 young children. Spafford, 36, was charged with possession of firearms in violation of the National Firearms Act. Law enforcement officers allege he owns an unregistered short-barrel rifle. Prosecutors said that he faces numerous additional potential charges related to the explosive. Continue. Defense attorneys argued in motion Tuesday that authorities haven't produced evidence that he was planning violence, also noting that he has no criminal record. Further, they questioned whether the explosive devices were usable because professionally trained explosive technicians had to rig the devices to explode them. There is not a shred of evidence in the record that Mr. Spafford ever threatened anyone, and the contention that someone might be in danger because of their political views and comments is nonsensical, the defense lawyer wrote. Messages were left Wednesday seeking further comment from the defense lawyer who signed the motion, Lawrence Woodward and Jerry Schwartz. The investigation began in 2023 when an informant told authorities that Spafford was stockpiling weapons and ammunition, according to the court documents. The information, a friend told authorities, Spafford had disfigured his hand in 2021 while working on a homemade explosive. Interesting. Prosecutors said he only has 2 fingers on his right hand. The informant told authorities that Spafford was using pictures of the president and apparent reference to President Joe Biden for target practice, and that he believed political assassinations should be brought back, prosecutors wrote. Numerous law enforcement officers and bomb technicians searched the property on December 17th. The agents located the rifle and explosive devices loaded into wearable vests. You know. So anyway, I started this whole thing about confirmation bias, and I say to you, just be very leery about connecting the dots. That being said, I'm going to connect some dots here. It's hard to not. Why are you making explosive bomb vests? Bizarre. Next. The FBI creates chaos so that I can aggregate more power for itself from the fear. My religious beliefs tell me that they convene directly with demons. You needn't believe this yourself and may dismiss it as superstition. You cannot deny what you see the FBI doing, though. It's evil. Next. That's from Cernovich. Next. Mass shooting in New York City. At least 13 victims shot at the Amazura nightclub located in Jamaica, Queens, New York City. Massive crime scene set up, unknown condition of the victims. Play.
Not at all. I pay too much money in rent to be outside fighting for my life. That's a fact.
So again, this was in light of the Las Vegas and New Orleans, and so they were thinking that there could be ties, as this would be a third attack. Next.
That's crazy, and obviously.
And I would just say, if it's in a nightclub, it's game on. You know what I'm saying? There was recently in Chicago, there was 14 people that were shot at. I think 1 died. So do you connect all of it? No, I think it's a bad move to try to connect all of the dots. That being said, we're connecting them here at Revival Today. Check the news. Looks like the religion war started on schedule. Some of these aren't working, Matthew. Like my bra. Little John's not working. Oh, he's delayed. Oh, that one works too. Anyway, you do have to think about this. Also, in light of what Brother Ted, when he was here on Friday, he mentioned that there would be another 3. I'm not quite sure if you guys remember what he said. 3 more attacks. Or 3 more, I think it was attacks. I'm not quite sure if he actually used the word attacks, but there was going to be 3 other instances before Donald Trump took his seat on January 20th. So I do think about this kind of stuff, and I mean, it's definitely painting a picture. You've got the attacks, you've got the bird flu. So then what else? Next. At least 14 shot. There it is. 4 fatally, and this happened in Chicago, but everybody was silent. Next. Happened in Houston, Texas. Again, make sure you're not connecting all of these dots, because again, people want, of course, confirmation bias. You want to connect all of these things together, and now this is apparently somebody had read one of the comments. This is like one of the sleeper cells, or this is the ISIS stronghold in Houston. Take a look at this. And so this is why you have to be very careful about some of this content, because then all of a sudden you're going to start believing that everybody is an ISIS stronghold. That is a group of Mexicans having a good time on New Year's Eve. All right? And you should know the difference between someone who looks like an Islamic terrorist, and an essay. You know what I'm saying? With the haircuts, the bowl haircuts, the tattoos. You had cholas walking around. This isn't ISIS. This is just Mexicans having a good time. Next. These terrorist attacks were planned. This is the final media before we let you go. And today we are going to, are we having prayer today? No prayer today. So this is quite interesting. We've showed this on Check the News before. So we wanted to kind of show you it a second time because this is, let's read it. These terrorist attacks were planned. The FBI and the CIA knew they were going to happen. Sarah Adams, former targeting officer at the CIA, said that there was a 100% chance we would have terrorist attacks on American soil in 2025. Quote, I'm certain we'll have either an embassy attack in 2025 or a homeland attack or both. This is no accident that these attacks are happening right before Donald Trump's inauguration, especially them being ISIS. Donald Trump exposed Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton that are founders of ISIS, allegedly. This is straight from the Democrat globalist playbook of pre-planned chaos. Take a look.
How certain are you that we'll see something in 2025?
I'm certain we'll either have embassy attacks in 2025 or the homeland attack or both.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. So, Sarah Adams, former CIA targeter, and like I said, we got a love-hate relationship. I love having you on. I hate the information that you bring us because it's just, but, you know, we need to know it because while the government doesn't want to take this shit seriously, a lot of citizens do, and, you know, they're getting ready. A lot of people are getting ready. A lot of people are yanking their kids out of school because of safety. A lot of people are at least yanking them out of schools that have no safety precautions or any plan at all, and it's important that regular everyday Americans hear this stuff because, like you said, like Scott Mann says, nobody's coming to save you. This machine is no longer working, and so you better take matters into your own hands. And once again, Sarah, you write our intelligence newsletter every week, comes out every Monday. Benghazi, Know Thy Enemy. We'll link it in the description below. And let's go get some lunch, and I'll see you in a couple months.
Sounds good.
All right.
Interesting. Britt Gosmus, cleanse her palate, would you?
You see when you're scrolling through social media the same quotes, the same Bible verses, the same content. If you're looking for authenticity in the content that you consume, if you're looking for connection, if you're looking for integrity, if you're looking for more of those things led by biblical wisdom, led by spirit-led experience, this is the channel to follow. My name is Britt Gusmus. I'm a coach, author, and I've got authentic, connecting content that is going to explode in 2025. Follow me, follow this channel for more of that, and rejoice in this day and be glad in it because a good God made it.
Well, that's it for the show. If you have not registered for Fasting and Prayer, which starts on Monday, now is your chance to join over 1,900 people that are doing it with us this year. 21 days of fasting and prayer. We have so many options for you. It's not even funny. We're going to be doing live events here in Pittsburgh. Pastor Jonathan is going to be live for almost the entirety in Watauga, Texas. Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Noon prayer is going to be taking place. It's going to be relaunching on Monday, so no noon prayer today or tomorrow. Sunday morning, we'll see you at Denton Highway in Watauga, or at 107 Patton Drive for 2 services. We've got one at 8 in the morning and one at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that was a blast. 2 of these services. That's crazy. All right, next. I guess there's nothing left. So register. And if you want, there it is. Enlarge it. Make it large. All right. You want this keepsake for you. So why don't you partner with this amazing ministry and all that we endeavor to do in 2025. Is that a black eye? That's a black eye, isn't it? All right. I love it. What a great t-shirt. What a great keepsake. All right. Get you some. Here are the ways for you to partner with Revival Today. Info at Revival Today on Zelle. We've got Venmo at RT Give, PayPal, and Facebook. # donate on Facebook. Text RT to 50155. And if you'd like to give via crypto or any other way, if you have any questions at all, just scan the code. Go to revivaltoday.com/give for all of the info. You're welcome, Tara. Claim your offer at revivaltoday.com as one of the most important steps in order to retrieve your t-shirt. But if you want to mail in a check, you can do so at Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, PA 15329. You're welcome, Ninja. Thanks for watching. You guys are great. Happy New Year. It's going to be an absolutely amazing year. Are we doing a broadcast tonight by any chance? No broadcast tonight. So we'll see you tomorrow at same time, 10 a.m. See ya. Bye.
The Hebrew word for fasting means to close the mouth from food. Fasting and prayer first changes you. Until something changes in here, nothing changes out there. And fasting and prayer brings great change to you and your inner man. Challenges in life are normal, but it's unscriptural to be defeated. Never mistake a challenge for a defeat. Stand on the word, stand against the devil, and possess what God says belongs to you. Every person that's made it their business to come against you, to shut your business down, to make it their personal project, to see that you never succeed, God is going to cut their legs out from under them. You're walking through to a new dawn in Jesus' name.